Hi everybody, it's on from farfaraway.org. I thought I'd do a quick battle report from a game myself and Phil played this evening. A 15-point battle between Circle Ouroboros and Legion of Everblight. Phil's army was led by pKaya. He had 4 Arguses, and a unit of Tarn Blood Trackers. My army was led by Rhyas. I had 2 Shredders, Scythian, and a full unit of Warmongers. So this is the deployment. We were playing just simply the kill box scenario. I'm deployed down the bottom here. Phil's deployed up the top. I had the first turn, so on my turn, I cast Occultation onto the Warmongers because they were the prey of the Tharn. I moved Rhyas up. I put Rapport onto the Scythian. One of the Shredders came up, put his Animus onto her. The other one put the Animus onto the Scythian. On Phil's turn, fairly cautiously, he just pushed everything forward a little bit. As you can see, having a kind of an arc here around my army. Both of these armies are quite fast moving. Certainly, given the reach of the Warmongers, I can get up there. So on my turn, I thought about running full tilt into Phil's army, but the problem was I would only engage some of it. He was quite far away. So I shifted across. I split the unit of Warmongers so that they would be engaged in 2 phases. Had the Scythian sitting here menacingly, and then Rhyas in the back with the 2 Shredders. So on Phil's turn, you can see he was fairly effective at taking out that front line of Warmongers. He forgot that they had Occultation, so only one of the Tharn Blood Trackers managed to get an attack on a Warmonger that was about there. But the Arguses came in and finished it off fairly easily. On my turn then, I went for an assassination attempt, which I spotted just as the turn began. So let's go back to the previous Phil's turn. So on Rhyas' feet, when you destroy an enemy model, the model that destroyed it can then move base to base anywhere with that model. So, or even if you damage it, anywhere base to base. So I saw this Tarn Blood Tracker here and was thinking of the large base of the Scythian plus his reach would be just enough to get in contact with Kaya. So that was the plan. In order for that plan to happen, Rhyas herself needed to ensure that the Scythian would remain or would be within her control area once he did that hop. So that was the tricky part. So it started everything off with Rhyas. She was about here. She charged using acrobatics into one of the Argus that was just here. She managed to one-shot it. She did an amazing 22 points of damage on her charge. I rolled 4 6s. Weapon Master charging. It was pretty impressive. She hopped base contact to here. At this point, I made a mistake. She has, well, 2 mistakes actually. The first one is it had a Fury on it, and as you can see, that Fury went here. As it turned out, it didn't make any difference. We were able to correct that at the start of the next turn. But I forgot she had Sprint. Because the Argus here has circular vision, she probably would have remained in his melee range, but come around to somewhere here where she would be a little bit more protected. So effectively using the enemy model as a bit of protection, and the distance would have made a difference. So once she got up there, this point was then within her control area. So the Scythian charged into that Tharn Blood Tracker, hit it, killed it, and hopped into base contact at the back of it. And when I turned on my melee range to see how far I was out by a fraction of an inch, but I was definitely out to get the whack on Kaya. So he took out the Argus that was standing right in front of her, but it left me exceptionally exposed. Effectively then, I had 1 Fury. I had a free transfer to my Rapport Beast, but that wasn't enough to fend off Kaya, who hadn't feated yet. So Phil charged around, risked a free strike from the Scythian, which I missed, but he had plenty of Fury, so he could have transferred it somewhere anyway. He swooped in, hit her, managed to miss her, I think, with one of the attacks, but her riposte was no good because Phil had finished just outside of Rhyas' melee range. and because Kaya has reach, that was more or less it. He scored a crit, which meant she was knocked down, and effectively his game over. And as you can see, he managed to get enough damage on to kill her. So a good game. My failed assassination attempt resulted in being assassinated, but often that is the case with these very assassination-oriented 15-point games. So thanks everybody for listening.